Walt, could you talk about why there's such an emphasis by the officials this year on helmet-to-helmet hits?
Well, the rule has been around. One of the things last year when the Rules Committee met was they took a look at a lot of the data that in particular the athletic trainers have been accumulating on behalf of the NCAA about injuries, particularly injuries on players where there's contact to the head. And what they felt like was that because of the increase in the number of those injuries, that greater emphasis needed to be put on being sure that those types of hits were recognized, and if they were fouls, that we called and make officials more aware of their responsibility to be sure that we see those actions and take appropriate action. In this particular play is the rule that deals with a player using the crown of his helmet in an attempt to punish a player. Really not so much helmet-to-helmet contact, but it's the top of the helmet to any other body part of a player. And what you'll end up seeing here is a play where the player comes in, lowers his helmet, and then strikes an opponent. And it doesn't have to be helmet to helmet. It could be helmet to chest, helmet to back, but you're using the crown of the helmet to punish a player. And again, that's not a new rule, but it's certainly one of the areas that's part of the points of emphasis that are, again, being made by the Rules Committee this year. These are the types of plays where specifically is considered targeting high. So see, here you have a play where the player comes in and actually makes contact with his shoulder, but it's to the area that's above the shoulders of the receiver, in this case his head, which makes this illegal. So some people often refer to this as helmet-to-helmet hit, but it's really correctly referred to as targeting high. So what we want to do is when you get a player that comes in like this, he would be perfectly fine coming into a receiver as long as his contact here, he's not leading with his helmet, but he is making contact high. So this is the classic targeting high type action that is a foul. But they've got to just be lower. They've just got to get that target area down low to where it's not an illegal hit. This is going to be some examples of some legal hits that are going to be very hard. So here he comes in to the chest. Again, the player comes in here, has his head up, doesn't lower his head, makes legal contact to the receiver. We review and have been for a number of years every single play in the game, to determine if any foul that is called is correct, and for those that maybe were not called that should have been called, so that we can take appropriate action to teach the officials and train them to try to make those appropriate calls. And so the first step is for me to review and my staff to review those plays, and then when we see those types of plays that then specifically initiate the next process, which are, as an example, the targeting type fouls, whether they're called or not called, we would tag those plays. If we see helmet-to-helmet type hits, we would tag those plays. And then the next step is I review those with Ed Stewart, who is our commissioner of football. And so then through that process, Ed and I then continue to cull through, if you will, the plays, and to target or to tag specific types of plays that then the Commissioner Beebe would need to review, and it would be his final decision if additional action should be taken.